Hey guys, Amy Logan with amyloganlife.com, your post-Mormon life coach, and please subscribe to my channel. Head over to my website and sign up for my 10 post-Mormon life hacks. I would love to see you over there. Today I want to talk about something that I think's really important to you and your faith crisis, no matter where you are along this journey. Our brains tend to go to the negative, all right? And if you entertain the negative, you will find more negative. So let me give you an example. When you are going through this faith crisis and you're at the point that I am, faith transformation, awakening, whatever you want to call it, I love that I experienced that. I couldn't say that 14, 13, 12 years ago, all right? I was in it, I was mad, I was angry, I was sad and depressed. It was really hard, right? And so I felt my thoughts spinning in obviously confusion, because when you have that paradigm shift, it's such a fascinating process. Like looking back, it's amazing when I think about it. But when you're first going through that, you feel heartache, you feel pain, you feel sadness, you feel like a what the factor, right? You feel like, what is going on? And then you start to navigate it, and you get, buried in research. You talk to people maybe, or you're a voyeur on different forums, and you're just trying to figure this out. What happens is, because we're human, our brains are just designed to go to the negative, all right? So you could probably come up with a list of 100 reasons that their faith crisis sucks. All right. Your brain will default to that. That's just how we're kind of designed. But my whole way of dealing with and working with my clients and talking about how our brains work is, you're the boss of your brain. And if you find that your brain is continually stuck in the negative, you have created such deep neural pathways that there's work for you to do in getting out and creating new ways of dealing with it. That doesn't mean you're never going to be negative. Believe me, I have my days too. But I'm very much immersed in this work of my brain and realizing that most of the things that go across my head are just thoughts. All right, so today is the end of May 2019. And if you are paying any attention to the ex-Mormon, post-Mormon world, it's a shitstorm right now. And I'm not even going to go into it. You have to do your own homework. It will not take you any time to figure out what's going on. It's ridiculous. It's gone to levels I had no idea, and it's so interesting to see. The post-Mormon community has a lot of amazing things about it, right? We walk the same path, we get each other, but then there's different levels of how we experience all of the post-Mormon groups, all of the people we communicate and talk with, and where we can let our brains go crazy, all right? And what's going on this week is exactly that, and I am not even going to address it except to say that it's a shitstorm out there this week. All right. You get to manage your mind around that and all the other stuff that comes with living in this post-Mormon world. You get to decide how much time you're going to spend being a keyboard warrior or just watching it all, reading people's comments and thoughts. I certainly got caught up in it going, oh my gosh, but that has never been my approach of how to deal with all of this. And my YouTube videos go back about 5 or 6 years. You get to know me here, talking here with you on Facebook. I have a completely different approach to how I deal with anything stressful, anything uncomfortable, anything painful, in lines of dealing with my faith transition, which continues to go on. I continue to deal and experience things with my family and friends, and I continue to find room for where I can grow as a human and how I show up and deal with and talk with and be in the world. That is my life now, which, believe it or not, it's not consumed by all things post-Mormon. Yes, this is what I do, and I love and work with you guys, my clients, and I seriously love it. Every time I get off of a call with my clients, I just get up and I'm like, I have the best job in the whole wide world. Because when you sit down with me face to face and we go through some of these issues that are unique to you, amazing things happen. But the point I'm getting at is that your brain is conditioned to go negative. So that means your job is to change it up, find out the positive, look for the positive, look back at the ways you've grown since you've gone through the doors of what a faith crisis is. Because people have not experienced it. The fact that you are here and you are experiencing what it means to have a complete paradigm shift, I just love you. I just love that this is part of your story. I love that we can speak this language that's unique to those of us. No matter what faith you've left, no matter what it has brought up for you, we're all human and we're all trying to figure this out, right? And you eventually get to a point where, yeah, you might have negativity come into your brain. That's the human side. But you're learning to deal with and how to replace the negative, find the positive, and that starts to grow, right? So when you can start seeing that what you've gone through is actually making you a better person, right? How are you showing up now that you've gone through this huge transition? I would love for you to tell me, because we all experience it a little bit differently, but I want you to really think about where your brain goes when you're kind of spinning in that negative loop. I'm not saying to get rid of it completely, because I believe it's kind of the yin yang, it's the balance, right? But you know when it's just too much. And if all you're doing is spinning in the negativity, then you're going to stay stuck there until you're ready to kind of like slap yourself across the back and get you out of that spin, right? So it's like the good record analogy. When I was a little girl, I had my own record player, and I would spend hours and hours and hours listening to my music and dancing and singing, you know, like I was my own little rock star. And every once in a while, that album would get stuck, and I'd have to go touch it, make it stop doing that. All right, you get to do that with your brain. That is what makes us human, is we can be aware that our thoughts are just a thought and it doesn't mean anything until you give it meaning. All right, it's a fascinating way to start looking at what's going through your brain. Pay attention. What are you thinking about? What's coming up for you when you think about that? Do you want it to be different? You might not want to. You might be perfectly happy with being negative all the time, right? But if you want to get out of that cycle, there are ways to do it. There are tools you can use and things you can practice. Like make a list of 50 reasons why you're glad you left the church, and then focus on those. Now, hopefully that's not shitting on everything. Maybe that was your experience. I don't know. But do you see what I'm saying here? Like, you're the boss of your brain. And for most of us, our brain is just an unsupervised child running around like it owns the place. No, that's the difference. You get to recognize those are just thoughts. You can think them or not. You can replace them with ones that you'd rather be thinking. And that's the secret to everything, not just faith crisis. That's the secret to you getting your money, you know, your finances in order, to you going back to school, to you finishing school, to breaking up with someone you need to break up with, to getting into a relationship with someone you want to get in a relationship with having a conversation with your mom or dad or kid. You know, you get to decide how you're going to approach all of those things. Sometimes we believe it. So stop believing all the negative and start putting back in the positive. And I think that that will be a huge thing for you to do if you feel like you're stuck in that space. All right, that is it for today. It's just been really going through my mind, because when I get in that negative space, I know what it's like. The negative thoughts often create the negative feelings, which create the negative actions in your life, which actually are creating the negative results you're getting in your life. It's all connected, it's all intertwined, and you are worth doing the work. You are worth investing the time into yourself to figure this out, so you don't have to like be having a pity party all the time, or even some of the time. I assume most of us don't do this all the time, but you know, we're human and we let our brains tell us what to think. And I'm telling you, reverse it. Reverse those thoughts and you will see huge leaps and bounds and changes in your life in every area, not just in your faith crisis. And that's where I get in with my clients, because, you know, the post-Mormon stuff gets people in the door, but then we open it up and see how everything's affecting everything, from money to relationships to job, you know, to just your inner kind of peace and where you want to be in life. So there you go, you guys. Head over to amyloganlife.com and grab my post-Mormon life hacks, and make sure you subscribe here on the video and share it. Please share it. My work is very important to me, and I want to reach as many people as I can.